The journey to the cross. This week is Holy Week, a most reverent, praiseworthy time in the life of a Christian. It is a time of humility, reverence, celebration, and thanksgiving. This week, we are going to read the story of the journey to the cross from the Gospel of John. The other Gospels have recorded this story too, and please feel free to check those readings out. John's writing of the death and resurrection of Jesus is included in the chapters 13 through 21. I would suggest, before reading each chapter and Salt Shaker devotion, that you just sit for a few minutes in reverence and just be still and think about the sacrificial love that Christ had. Let the Holy Spirit fill you and give you peace before digesting the story. John begins with eternity and ends with Jesus coming to earth once again. He features Jesus teaching his disciples privately just before the arrest and the death. We see clearly the deep love Jesus has for his believers. Because of what Jesus knew, he did what he did. No wonder the disciples were troubled. Jesus was going to leave them. One of them would betray him, and Peter would deny him. In chapter 19, we see the crown, a sign of victory. He has overcome. He carried the cross, a sign of guilt, but he was not guilty. Then the conquest. It is finished. A word used back at that time when the final payment had been paid on a debt. He paid the debt we owed. Jesus' resurrection is the key to the Christian faith. Why? Number one, just as he said, Jesus rose from the dead. We can be confident, therefore, that he will accomplish all that he has promised. Number two, Jesus' bodily resurrection shows us that the living Christ, not a false prophet or impostor, is ruler of God's eternal kingdom. Three, we can be certain of our own resurrection because Jesus was resurrected. Death is not the end. There is future life. The divine power that brought Jesus back to life is now available to us to bring our spiritually dead selves to life. And number four, the resurrection is the basis of the church's witness to the world. From John 20, verse 21, Jesus says, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am also sending you." He passes the job of spreading the gospel of salvation around the world to his disciples. The word does not stop there, for he asks us to do the same. It is one thing to say that you love Jesus, but the real test is the willingness to serve. From John chapter 21, Christ says, "Feed my lambs. Take care of my sheep. Follow me." Biblical Shakers and the Salt Shakers wish each of you a very blessed and happy Christmas. Please check in next week to see what book we will be reading, and remember that Biblical Shakers will make reading the Bible more enjoyable for you. I pray that the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.